Hi, I'm Wingsong Halo, and today I'm going to be reading Friends Forever Part 3, which is a really old Pokemon fanfiction. So, yeah, I'll start that. The summary is, I like this part. Ash and Misty get to be more than just friend. But then! And then the beginning of the chapter is like a crap ton of like board faces, I guess. It's like curly bracket, hyphen, underscore, hyphen, and curly bracket repeated like 10 times. Hey all, this chapter 4 is the sweetest. But this is part 3. Okay. Is the sweetest, mushiest thing I've ever written. Oh boy. But the chapter 6, next time, is the sadist thing I've ever wrote. Sadist thing. That's, kind of worrisome. How old are you, kid? Hint, Ash cries. Well, enough already. I guess yous want to read, so I'll leave yous to it. Heart, cat's heart. And then a bunch of faces again. Chapter 4! A Love to be Told. As Ash walked to the mall, he thought, what if I go there real late? Get Misty worried. But there's point in that. If I did, she'd be mad at me, and not even speck to me all the time that we're there. But if I got there real early, and be waiting for her, she'll smile. Misty smiles. I'd do anything to see that smile. Ash suddenly realized what was happening. Why didn't he see it before? It's so plain to see. He'd, for the first time in his life, fallen in love. And to the closest person to him. Misty, Ash said, and sighed. Misty jumped a little with joy as she walked down the road. The only thing she could think of was Ash. She thought about how nice he looked in the darn hat of his. Or how sweet his smile was when he was happy. But mostly she was thinking of his eyes. She looked into then every time she was with him. It made her happy to see them smiling. His eyes are smiling. But it made her almost cry when she saw them sad. In fact, just the thought of Ash being sad made her sniff, because I guess it smells good. As she walked into the huge mall, the first thing that caught her eye was Ash. He was stands looking at the ground. He's here before me, she thought, smiling in the inside. When Ash did look up, he saw Misty running towards him with a smile upon her lips. Ash! Ash! Misty yelled, waving her hand in the air. She stopped beside him and caught her breath. Misty, Ash smiled. He ruffed her hair, laughing. Misty looked up and smiled shyly, her hair a mess. She thought, Ash, how on earth can I tell you how I feel about you? All you think of us is as very good friend. Why should I break us up by telling you that I love you? Yes, it was true. Misty had known of a while now that she loved Ash, but would not tell him till now. It's now or never, she said in her mind. Who knows, I might not be here tomorrow. Little did Misty know how right she was. Oh geez, that kinda spoils everything, huh? Misty, hello? Ash said, looking deep into Misty's eyes. Misty, he said, and messed her hair again. Did he pee in her hair? Okay. Misty looked and smiled. Ah, so she is alive, Ash said, pushing her playfully. Misty thought, here's my change. She pulled him down, took his cap off, and ruffed his hair. Ash smiled. He liked the feeling of Misty hand moving through Misty hand. It was very incorporeal. Moving through his hair. Even though she was trying to wreck it, her touch was soft and kind. Just like her, said Trough to himself. He tried to grab his cap, but Misty moved it out of his way. The only thing he did succeed in doing by that move was moving closer to Misty. Theirs was hardly any space between them. Misty held the cap in both hands behind her back. Ash had his own ideas. Quickly, without warning, Ash put both his hands around Misty's waist to try and get the cap. Misty had her own idea, but... sorry, this is a really long paragraph. She moved her head closer to Ash's and kissed him softly on the lips, then put the cap on her head. Ash didn't know what hit him. The only thing he thought of was that Misty had kissed him. He could still feel the ghostly feeling, I guess she really is Misty, of her lips still there. He liked it and smiled. Misty had opened her eyes to see Ash eyes closed and smiling. He liked it, was the first thing that came to her mind. Suddenly, she remembered Ash still had his arms around her. Ash opened his eyes and looked deep into Misty's. He could tell what she was thinking, and he blushed. Then he couldn't stop himself. He pulled Misty as close as he could and kissed her again. This time it was longer and more open. Misty wrapped her arms around Ash's neck, and they hugged tight. Misty loved this new feeling she was having. It made her happier than she ever thought she could be. Ash was starting to think that this was all there was now. He forgot about the passers-by. He forgot about the noise all around him. The only thing he could hear was his heart slowing back down to normal after the shock beforehand. When the kiss did end, Ash and Misty both staged. Eyes closed and noses almost touching. Misty was the first to open her eyes, but all she did was lay her head on Ash's chest and close them again. Ash felt her move and thought she was pulling away from the hug, and was glad to feel that all she was doing was resting her head. He opened his eyes, kissed her hair softly, then rested his head on her shoulder. He closed his eyes again and smiled a smile of pure happiness. So there Ash Ketchum and Misty Waterflower stood in a loving embrace, in froth of the mall's Boss's Cafe window, with almost everyone looking at them. Chapter 5. A Heart's End. Brock ran up to Misty and Ash still hugging. It was Brock hugging. "Ash, Misty," he said when he got close enough to them. "Brock," Misty said, pulling away from Ash and the hug. "Brock, you're late," Misty said, and out her hands on her hips. "Well, you's kept yourself fine without me. Everything making out okay?" Every time they say "use." Brock joked as Ash blushed. "Anywho, where to first?" Misty asked, her hand having been holding Ash when she pulled away. "I saw this new shop upstairs. It's got all the latest Pokemon stuff," Brock said, eyes lighting up. The whole walk around the mall, Misty and Ash never let go of each other. If it was holding hands, liking arms. Yeah, arms. Arms are great. I lost my place, sorry. If it was holding hands, liking arms, kissing, hugging. Not for 1 second did they let go of each other. "So I was thinking, Misty," Ash said as the tree left the mall. The tree. It's making like a tree and leafing. I'm sorry about that. "My mom's staying at a friend's house this whole week, with mean free house." "What? You want to come over?" Ash said, then grinned evil and added with a nude. "A nude? Aren't they in a nude?" "Stay over?" He laughed with a wink to show it was a joke. "That sounds great, Ash. I'll bring the popcorn and movie." Ooh, popcorn. I want to eat some popcorn. Maybe I'll make some popcorn after this one. Brock declared. "Yeah, Ash, it'll be fun." Misty smiled and hugged his arm tighter. Just like squeezing the life out of it. "Yeah, a lot of fun," Ash said, thinking to himself. Brock, "No! I meant me and Misty alone." Well, I can't take it back now. Later at Ash's house, Misty and Ash are waiting for Brock, huddled up on the couch. "What movie do ya think he'll get, Ash?" Misty said, and hugged he even tighter. "I don't know, but I hope it's a horror," Ash said with an evil grin. Misty smiled and was just about to kiss Ash. The doorbell rang. Sorry about that. There was noise in the background. Sorry. The doorbell rang. Ash got up and said with a sigh, "It's Brock, I'll get the door." He opened the door, and sure enough, it was Brock. With a huge smile on his face, he said, "You'll never guess what movie I got." He walked in and closed the door. "Is it be any chance The Exorcist?" Misty asked as Ash sat back beside her, while Brock put the tape in, then sat on the one-setter chair and sighed. "Ah, who'd ya guess?" It said it on the case," Misty giggled, and Ash smiled. About 3 hours later, the movie was over, and the TV was switched off so the three could just talk. Though, it was really cool when she was just sitting there, and then the priest, and then doom!" Brock said, acting it out in front of them. He took a look at his watch and then sighed. Man, I got to go, guys. It's 11. See ya's the morrow. The morrow. He started to the door. Ta-ta, Brock, Misty waved. Yeah, see ya, man. He's like, yeah, bye, bitch. Ash said, smiling widely. All right, I'm leaving. Jeez, push me out the door any faster, why don't ya? Brock mumbled while the door shut as he left. So, you want to drink, Misty? Ash asked and turned to her. Sure, maybe something with a lot of ice. Please, Misty replied with a sweet smile on her face. Yes, you highest, Ash said with a bow as he walked out the door and down the hall a little to the kitchen. What would she like? Ash asked when suddenly he heard a loud scream from the living room. He sat down the hall. He ran down the hall. Sat down the hall would be funnier, though. He ran down the hall and into the living room, seeing the worst thing he could think of right before him. And then a crap ton of surprised faces, I guess. It's curly bracket, asterisk, singular, O, and then another asterisk and a closing curly bracket. So I guess it's like... Anyway. Oh, I hope you liked that one. I know I left yous all hanging there, but see, I'm evil. Ah ha 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 ha. You'll have to wait till next time. Heh. Heart, Cass, heart, and then the surprised faces again. So, that was Friends Forever, Part 3, which, the title is a lie now because they're more than friends now, so they're not friends forever. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna go make some popcorn, and I hope to see you again for the next part.